And I have an opportunity to meet and become friends with a gentleman whose entire family have been inventors now for several generations. And I apologize, I can't remember if it was his grandfather or great-grandfather who invented the safety pin. I think I might have said the paperclip before and I was wrong, but invented the safety pin. And it turned into this huge family success. It was the beginning of family wealth. And that entrepreneurial gene and that creative spirit just kept getting passed down from generation to generation. The guy that I'm talking about, his name is John Yiser. And he is the creator, his family, of the metallic metal hoses called Bernini hoses. They do a series of battery-operated fountains for us, also under the Bernini name. They do a lot of just really great stuff. Bernini metallic hoses, the stainless steel hose, are the #1 best-selling hoses that we've ever offered here at QVC because they weigh a fraction of the weight of a rubber hose. They are so much easier to coil up. Biggest lie in the hardware store is when they say easy to coil with rubber hoses, because they're not. So John and his daughter and also his son work together and create different products now, and they bring them here. So here's one of them. This is their rustic garden hose barrel, and they've created this out of polypropylene, so it's virtually indestructible. And they actually molded it. If you look really close, you see everything that looks like wood grain and like an iron band on it. The whole idea is that there's a hole here so that the part that goes to the spigot comes out of here and hooks up. I don't know why they do it this way, but most houses, if you're lucky, and they're called bibs, you might have a hose bib on the front of your house and you might have one on the back. But they're always kind of hidden by the bushes. And you've got to dig through to turn the water on and off. Here's a way. Oh, I have a representative for this. I didn't even know. Christopher Joyce, I didn't know you were joining me. I would have kept talking. How are you, buddy?
Hey, bro. Hey, buddy. I'm glad they're finally fact-checking you, by the way.
It's about time, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? The Bernini story, I love that you went through that. It is amazing. It was the great-grandfather, all right, that it invented or helped to invent the safety pin. Yes. You're right, not the paper clip. And the whole family, I mean, the whole story is amazing. And as you talked about, it's just created generation after generation of creation. And the Bernini brand that they brought to QVC probably over 10 years ago is about taking rustic or beautiful things like the fountains in Italy and bringing them to you, but making them out of plastic and resin. But as you see here, as you're looking at the barrel that's in the studio, you can see the detail that they put into it, even though it's, in this case, plastic or they use resin. Yeah. And you're right, the little hole that they created allows you to put this into the hose bib so you have a working hose in a beautiful piece of what it looks like a whiskey, an age-old whiskey barrel. But what I really love is how easy it allows you to do this with your hose. So think about this. All you have to do is kind of coil up the hose and literally dump it in. It's as simple as that. And in fact, if you look at this, you're not even seeing the hose. And I already have 100 feet of hose in here. Then I can put another 50 foot of hose on top of that, and it accommodates that as well. Yep. It's beautiful, it's elegant. Not only does it take care of the beautiful metal hoses that you talked about, but also any hose that you have, including rubber hoses or fabric hoses.
Yeah, I agree. Any hose will absolutely work. I prefer the metal hoses that John and his family represent and manufacture, just because it makes it a lot easier. I'm running 150 foot of hose from both hose bibs that I use, and that's 300 feet of hosing. Hoses are not decorative. So right. I don't want them sitting out where everyone can see them. Plus, I kind of demand order of myself. So I like that there's a place to put them. And I'll tell you what, when you've got something like this, it's so easy when you don't have a hose container, when you're done with a project, to throw the hose down and go, I'll get to that later. But when you've got an empty place for it sitting there, it prompts you to go ahead and coil it up and get it done and get it out of the way.
And it looks good.
And
I mean, it really is. It's elegant, and it's an easy solution to a problem that, look, if you're a gardener, you're doing this every single day. You're using a hose.
Yeah.
And this is so easy because you're simply wrapping it up, or not even wrapping it up, rather than using, the big hose holders. First of all, they're ugly. All right. You do have to hide them behind a bush. Whereas this you can keep out next to your fountain, next to plants, and it looks like an aged whiskey barrel, but yet it's really functional and get the job done.
And I'm down to, finite quantities on this. It's nice that I finally got a sale price of less than $25. I know it is nothing more than the look of an oak barrel. But if you were to put a real oak barrel out there and let it sit, it's only going to degrade. This won't. People have taken the time, lots of them, to write wonderful reviews about this hose holder. That's why it's customer top rated here.
It's incredible, right? That a simple device like this, an elegant solution, is customer top rated. But actually, because it is such an elegant solution, it does make sense that it's customer top rated, because it makes your life that much easier.
Christopher, I so appreciate you. Thank you for your help here on Monday. Tell John and his family that we indeed said hello.
Will do. Take care, my friend.
Are we down? Is this it, the last item? Carrie, what are you going to do with the rest of